Welcome to Profiletraders. This is Reza and you're listening to my market analysis for Wednesday, December the 9th. If you have been trading this market, obviously you are realizing that we are going through a tremendous amount of turbulence in the market, and it is for good reason, because we are approaching now next week option expiration and also the Federal Reserve meeting. And ahead of this Federal Reserve meeting, people are a little bit confused, because you have those who are believers that the Fed has put itself into such a corner that if this time around they do not hike the rates, they're all going to be discredited as a bunch of clowns, and the very little credibility that is left, even that will go away. Then the other party is looking at the price of oil being at $37. Price of oil being at $37 supposedly makes a lot of things cheaper. Transport of goods cheaper, driving around cheaper, heating homes, running factories, everything that is oil related cheaper, therefore adding to what supposedly the Fed fears the most, which is deflation. On the top of that, they are looking at the timing of this rate hike, which comes in the middle of holiday season, after a terror attack on the homeland, and further indication from night ago that the Chinese economy as well is deepening more and more into a recession. And then you also have, until now, a dollar that was very strong against every other currency that has waged a devaluation war against ours. So you take all these things and you ask yourself, will the Fed take the rates higher this time, or again, after some tough talks from this member and that member, they're gonna meet and do nothing about it as well? So one good day, market is in a good mood, they say no rate hike, they buy into it like crazy. Next day they're in a bad mood, market is gonna be affected by rate hike, it crashes down. In any case, it is an absolutely crazy out of control volatility. Very, very, very dangerous market condition. So this morning was no different. As soon as we open at the low of the overnight, a buy program kicked in, just devastating anything or anybody that was holding shorts from the overnight session by running them over like they were nothing. And then as soon as we extended the range up on the back of such a wild initial balance, which is the range of the first hour, we got a very swift rejection from the seller, and in one shot we reversed entirely the range of the first hour on the upside and came in and finally broke the low. And from the break of the low, once it did happen and everybody started to lose money after having gone long on that violent move up in the morning, then we literally collapsed and ended up closing at 20.45, a little bit off the low. So now the main level of resistance is 20.57. one must assume that as long as we remain below 2057, downside continuation should follow through. If we break above 2057, then most likely we are going to trade back up to 2075 and then delete and erase entirely today's action to the downside by going back to the very high. Everything and anything can happen from here, because next week will be one of the most volatile you are going to encounter. Option expiration and a Fed meeting. Normally, into an option expiration week, they aggressively buy the market. But this time, because you have a Fed meeting as well, things may be a little bit different. But very, very severe turnaround today, and with a no question extremely bearish close. Also, if I look at on my daily, I can see that this trend line that was holding the very short-term trend has been broken successfully with a break and a close outside of the trend line. Therefore, now the next real support is nowhere but 2005 to 2000. Once we get up down there, possible double bottom, and then we bounce. And if we do not, then we will be breaking another trend line down, at which point then it will call for a drop, a very sharp straight drop towards 1900, because we do not have much of a support between 2000 to 1900. So very interesting to see what will happen tomorrow, but do not feel at all bad if you feel that this volatility is a bit too rich for your taste and you're having difficulty trading it, because I can tell you it is not normal at all, and it is very, very brutal. And if you do not enter the market at the exact precise level, no matter how wide your stop can be, you get steamrolled over without any problem. Now for Crude did the same thing. We got an oil reserve numbers came out. At first it looked very bullish, and then as soon as it reached around the 39 level, seller came in, knocked it down, and we closed at the very low. Of course, now the main support remains 36.6 to 36.8. If we do break that, I really can't tell you how much lower we can go, because despite paper, which are stocks, this is a real commodity. So the cheaper it will get, the more people will use it. And as the more people will use it, that cheap price will be balanced out by an excess of demand. And this is becoming quite oversold in the very short term. As we can see, we have dropped from $49 to $36.50 almost. So there is already a significant drop. But if the market, of course, takes a beating, definitely no question that crude may drop as well. So be very careful upon a break of 36.6. But if by tomorrow morning we come in and overnight gonna hold 36.6, then very likely that we are going to see a bounce on the upside. The very first level that we need to break on the upside, to me, is 37.6. If we break above 37.6, then I am targeting 38.20. And if 38.20 is broken, I think we are going to go delete the selling tail or the rejection above on the chart. And if we do break 36.6, one must be looking at the nature of the break to see if it's going to be a valid break or a false break. So this is it for today. This was Reza with Profiletraders. If you wish to learn market profile, you can get all my 5 courses and 1 year to my trading room from my website. Cost is $5.50, 30 days money back guaranteed. Have a wonderful evening and talk to you next time.